Gridiron Warriors take the field in an epic battle that is larger than life. It is called Texas High School Football. Only one show can bring the greatest sport from the greatest state into focus. Lone Star Gridiron.
All right, well, Coach, first let's talk about the seniors, because you had a great run. Again, a lot of programs that would have been a stellar, greatest run ever. But I know it's not quite the same in Wimberley.
Well, the expectations are high, and so the thing that you can't do is you can't take those for granted, because that's really hard to do. And so we've been blessed to be on a good run, but. We want to continue to keep that going. We enjoy playing late in December, and that's the expectation. So we're going to work hard to get back there every year, no matter who we have playing for us.
Nice. And have the kids had a chance to take that away? Is that, look, it was a successful season. It's not that we didn't win state. We did a lot.
They have. They're still. It still stings.
Yeah.
I mean, it always will. Because they're competitors and they had a goal and we didn't get to that goal. But as they look back on it, and the part that stings will always be there. But then you look back and they'll think about the great times they had with their teammates, the hijinks in the locker room, the bus rides, all those things, the traditions that we have here, and they'll finally remember those, and that's what'll be the fun part for them as they get down the road. But yeah, if you start talking about it right now, there's still there's still some hurt there, definitely.
Nice, and not to bring up more pain, but a lot of those good times were had with seniors.
No doubt.
So tell me about the seniors. What do we know about what they have next?
Well, just a special group, but every group that comes through here has always been a special group. They all they're different in their own right, and they take reins of our team in their own way. How each group does it. This group was a lot of fun. They were goofy. They always had something going on in the locker room, some type of game or something. And so, but what you do is you look forward to them moving on to their next level, and whatever that may be, whether that be where the football's in their plans or it's not, and so we do have a few that are going on. So, Cody signed with Harding University out of Arkansas, and it's going to be a good fit for him. They're a pretty run-heavy, offense, and so I think he's going to fit right into that and add to them with his the way that he can operate there. So that'll be good. Ty Thames, of course, is signed with Rice and going to go down there and be able to go to not only one of the top academic institutions in the country, but also get a chance to play football, Division I football, while you're there. And so excited for him, and he's about 195, 200 right now. So a year from now, I'm going to look forward to him walking in here, and he's going to be about 225 or 230, and just a massive individual that can really run. So really looking forward to watch him develop and see what he can do at the next level. And then we had Nolan Wida, who signed with Cisco College, junior college there, and he's looking forward to going and making his mark there, and then moving on from there to an upper level. That's what his goal is to do, and he thought that was the best route for him to do that. So, looking at those three, those are the ones that signed. We still have a couple others that are probably going to have some opportunities, and so we'll see as the spring goes on. But then you have others that they're going to go to Fire Academy, or they're going to go off to the military, and so you're just proud of all those kiddos for, number one, what they've done for your program and the way that they bought in and worked so hard. But so you like to see them go off and just turn into great young men, and when they come back, get to visit with them and see how they're turning out.
Yeah, no doubt. And then what about what is going to be graduating in terms of football. You know, the holes that are going to be left that, you know, because the cupboard's not bare. You've got lots of talent.
No doubt, no doubt. You know, it's funny because people always, well, how are we going to replace that guy? You know, it's high school football, and you always replace them. And so we've got kids that you don't know who their names are yet, but you will next year because they're going to be right in that fold, and they're going to be the ones that are making plays. But, you know, I think you look at us next year and where do we start with our leadership and where, you know, where does that begin? I think you look at, number one, you look at our offensive line. We're going to have 3 guys back there with extensive starting experience. One started every game, and Will Kellerman, he was the offensive lineman MVP of the district, you know, and so he's back. All right, you got 2 other guys that started at least 6 games and maybe more than that, so there's a lot of experience up front. With those 3 guys, and so feel good about those, and we feel good about the pieces around them, you know, filling them in and who's going to be those guys, you know. We've got 2 really good running backs that are coming back, so if you have an offensive line, a majority of an offensive line, and 2 good running backs, then that's going to take a lot of pressure off of whoever becomes our quarterback, you know, and so we're going to have a battle for that, and we have some capable young men that are going to handle that, and they'll make their own mark and set their own you know, stamp on this program. But when you have a good offensive line and 2 good running backs, they can help a young quarterback out a lot, and so that'll be key for that. When you flip it around on the defensive side, I think you look at you know, Cody Phillips. Cody Phillips has been our nose guard for the past couple years, and he'll be back as his senior year, and so looking forward to him. And he's kind of the, you know, he's going to be that guy that's going to be the foundation really of the defensive line. We have a bunch of other guys that are they probably didn't start, but we rotate our kids a lot, and we throw them in there a lot, and so. I consider them starters just because they played so much over there. But, you know, Maverick Jacobs played a ton of outside linebacker for us. Josh Hughley, you know, played some defensive line. Hunter Kyle. So all those guys were in the mix. And so you're looking for those guys that were I wouldn't call them role players, but maybe, you know, they got a percentage of snaps, and now they have to take big steps for us next year and fill in some of those gaps and become major players for us. But, you know, the thing about it is that I've always found that here at Wimberley, and it's not just here, I'm sure it's everywhere, but you know, the kids, they'll make those big leaps from kids that were juniors that maybe weren't starters but played a lot of your roles on special teams or got some, you know, some snaps here and there defensively or often wherever they play. But now all of a sudden they're thrown into a more prominent role, and boy, they flourish in that. They're confident in what they do. They know what we expect of them, and they just go out there and make plays.
Nice, and I guess you know, before we came in here, you were handing out towels to the freshmen. Good number of freshmen. Talk about overall enrollment in the program.
Well, the numbers are great. I mean, we had 130 kids last year, and you know, and freshmen on up, we'll have, you know, roughly right about that same number next year. So the numbers are there for us. We feel like that's a really good, you know, group of kids. Our JV and our freshmen combined, I think they lost 2 games total last year.
Nice.
You know, so there are kids there that can play the game of football. The expectations are always high for them as well. And so we're looking for good things from them. I mean, these kids here, they work their tail off, and they expect to win when they walk out on the field, no matter who they play, and that goes a long way in high school football.
Yeah, and talk about the district, because, you know, it was a new district, but now you've played it a year. What do you expect there?
Well, I expect the district to be better. There were some new guys in that came in, and you know their first year in programs, so now some of those guys are going to have off seasons for the first time, a full off season, as opposed to maybe just a few weeks or just getting to know, and they'll have their staffs in as well. So I don't expect, you know, guys like Gerald, like Salado, you know, those guys, they're only doing Smithfield, they're only going to get better, you know, and so there are going to be some new faces. Of course, there's a new coach over at Navarro, so now you know they're probably going away from the slot T and into a more spread power type stuff. Gonzalez has a new coach as well, and so there'll be some new faces in there. But you know, the thing about it is that when it comes down to it, that there's always good tough football in the district, and I don't expect that to be any different next year.
Excellent. And you mentioned new personnel at some of these other schools, but what about your staff? How have you done at keeping them together? Because you have a winning program.
We do, and
they'll pick from you.
We do, but these guys that have there's several of these guys have been with me a long time, and they do all the heavy lifting. To be honest with you, I mean they're the guys that get up there and come up with a plan and execute that thing. And man, so the continuity of our staff has really been key for our run as well. We haven't lost very many coaches along the way. I don't think that of course it's early in spring right now. You never know, but right. I feel like we'll keep those guys around again, which is key to our success.
Yeah, and is it the winning that keeps them here, or is it something you're doing in the program? What's the magic? I've seen a couple programs that have done this where they've kept the core forever.
Well, I don't. I think it's a combination of things. Number one, it's a great place. I mean, It's a really good school district with a great administration. That's key. We have great support from our parents here in the district. We've got good kids that work really, really hard. And then, I think the other thing is that I try to take care of those guys and whatever they need, whether it's making them feel like they're at home or letting them go to their kids' football game on a Saturday or whatever. Yeah. But really just taking care of those guys and allowing them to coach. Right? And so there's a lot of factors that go into it, but hopefully they'll stick around and they like it. And the winning is to me the winning is the cherry on top of that. That's just the byproduct of everything else. But the other thing that we do is I give those guys a lot of buy-in. I mean, I let them. Our coordinators, our offensive, defensive coordinators, which both have been here a long time, and they have total control on that side of the ball, and I leave them alone. And I may ask questions or why are we doing this or make suggestions, but I let them have their say, and they run those things. And we have other coaches that are in charge of other things. So giving those guys the opportunity to grow where they're at, and then on top of that, like I said, we're at a great place.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, again, best of luck this season. Look forward to doing our show again this year. It's going to be another good year.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey, Coach. Lone Star Gridiron has been the leader in Coach's Show podcasts for 20 years, and now you can get your own Coach's Show podcast each week during the season as a fundraiser for your booster club. Yes, booster clubs all over are using these podcasts to help their sports programs. You get to share the stories of your program and your kids to a huge audience and make money. We started with just football, but this year have expanded to make them available for all sports. Call 713-269-4620 to find out the details and get your Coach's Show started.
Gridiron Warriors take the field in an epic battle that is larger than life. It is called Texas high school football. Only one show can bring the greatest sport from the greatest state into focus. Lone Star Gridiron.